I know what it feels like to be number one. I know what it feels like to be number one 2 years in a row. I know what it feels like to be number one 3 of the 4 past years. I'm an Alabama fan, and I love Alabama football. You're probably wondering why. Reasons why I love Alabama football will fill up Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, that holds 101,821 people. I feel like my list should be shorter, and I'll share with you my top three. The University of Alabama is a great Southern college place in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. It's known as the Crimson Tide and has been a strong legacy of winning football games, a strong legacy of winning coaches and players, and a strong fan base. Those are great reasons to love the team, but the most important one is the fan base, which I have roots in my friends and family. Um, fans love it when their team wins, and Alabama has had their share of victories since the football program started in 1892. They actually share a long legacy of winning football games, and they have the numbers to back it up. According to the National College Athletic Association, Alabama has 827 official victories, 27 conference championships, and leads the NCAA record with 59 postseason bowl appearances, with a record of 32 bowl victories. Alabama has completed 10 undefeated seasons, and 9 of which were perfect seasons. The Associated Press ranked Alabama fourth in all-time final AP poll appearances, with 50 through the 2012 season. Those are some very impressive numbers. Fans love it when their team wins, and that happens with great coaches and players as well. Alabama has had 28 head coaches, and with 2 standing out as some of the best in history. Paul Bear Bryant coached at Alabama from 1958 to 1982, and he led the team to 6 national championships. During his 25 seasons, his records have been the strongest with 232 wins, 46 losses, and 9 ties, 13 Southeastern Conference titles, 14 bowl appearances, and 11 bowl victories. Paul Bryant was a popular coach, and fans were lost when he retired, actually in 1982. After his last bowl game, Bryant was asked what he planned to do now that he retired. He replied that he'd probably croak in a week, and he'd imagine that he'd go straight to the graveyard. Sadly, actually, 4 weeks later, after coaching his final game, Paul Bryant died at age 70 of a heart attack in January 26 of 1983. Nick Saban is the newest coach, and he actually has been coaching at Alabama since 2007. He left the Miami Dolphins, and in 6 short years, he actually done with what pretty much no other coach has done since Bryant has left. He actually turned the team around pretty much, the football program, and he's actually brought the Crimson Tide back to their former glory. The football program is on fire pretty much under Saban's charge with 3 national championship wins in 2009, 2011, 2012, with 68 wins, 13 losses, 5 SEC championships, 6 bowl appearances, and 6 bowl victories with 1 Heisman Trophy winner. Saban brings actually a lot of sharp focus and no-nonsense discipline to the team, and it actually shows a lot. His players often refer to his favorite quote as, "There are only 2 pains in life, the pain of discipline and the pain of disappointment. If you can handle the pain of discipline, then you will never have to deal with the pain of disappointment." He pretty much lives the game 24/7, and coming off the field after January 2013's championship game, he told a reporter that we would take a couple of days and celebrate this, and then after that, it's time to start building towards next season. There was something missing back in 2009, but there was no Heisman Trophy winner ever since Mark Ingram. And then Mark Ingram came in 2009. He actually became the 6th player to win both the Heisman Trophy and the national championship in the same season. Ingram set the single-season rushing record of 1,658 yards and 18 touchdowns. He was named the first-team All-American Walter Camp Player of the Year, Sports News National Player of the Year, first-team SEC selection, a finalist for the Doak Walker and Maxwell Awards, and actually the Associated Press SEC Offensive Player of the Year award as well. He's also a first-round draft pick for the New Orleans Saints as well. Mainly the most important reason why I love Alabama football is because I was born into an Alabama family. They grew up with friends, and they love the team as well. My family roots go back to my great-grandparents who lived in Tuscaloosa, just a mile from the campus, actually. My grandfather, he actually graduated from there for medical school, and his children, which are my aunts and uncles, my father attended college there and they lived in the same house where he lived. And my mother actually graduated as well from college there and grew with my aunt in the same house. So basically, never pulled for another team except for Alabama. And just like Saban, though, Coach Saban, we all spent all year spent following football, from watching recruitments, from high school players, spring practice, season games, national football, the NFL's draft. We watch everything. Pretty much. Also, like to tell you about our biggest fan person I know is Mr. John Pike. He was a close family friend we have. He attended pretty much all the games in Tuscaloosa with no tickets in his hand. And he got there and always tried to find tickets. And for many Saturdays, he drove over 5 hours, stayed for the game, drove back, and then he started taking his sons and family, and then he never got old enough to take his friends as well. So 6 years ago, he finally got season tickets. For the first 2 seasons, his lung disease actually kept him in Georgia, so he had to watch the games on TV. He watched his last game, Alabama game, this past January 7th, and he saw his team win the national championship again. And he told us God let him live long enough to see his team come back under Saban, and that was good enough for him. At his funeral in March, we celebrated his life and his love for Alabama football, and we dressed him in the Alabama gear and day clothes that he wore every Saturday. And he had an Alabama casket with game day ticket stub in his hand. And he had an Alabama fight song played for all of his fans. He died at the age of 64, by the way. And in my conclusion, I just want to let you know that this is why I'm a huge fan. My team has a great winning record, great winning coaches and players, and fans all over the world. And no matter where I go, somebody always yells "Roll Tide" when they see my T-shirt, and feels like this is really good fan pride, and it feels good that my family will pass down our Alabama traditions to the next generation, and it feels good to have a first victory 2013 season as well. So it feels good to be an Alabama fan. Roll Tide.